Quiet. Greetings. My name is Tony Lacey, exceptionally American. I have been working on this video for 60 days, or the better part of 60 days. I'd hope to bring to you an elaborate production. I hired graphic designers, computer engineers, made some great videos, and the goal was to come on here, give you 7 minutes off the top of my head, just pure fire and passion. Well, after 111, maybe 12, 13 takes, I have failed. And I'm not afraid to admit I failed. I'm not perfect. I gave it my best shot, but ultimately trying to bring everything that's in my head and walk in and just talk to a camera and deliver on cue is, I'm not going to say impossible, I'll just say it's impossible for me. But I still wanted to bring my message to you, so instead took everything in my head, put it down on a piece of paper, and I'm just going to read it to you word for word, the way it came out, the way it went down on paper. This isn't 140 characters. It's not a short, paragraph. It's going to take a few minutes. All I ask is that you be patient, sit back, close your eyes, let the words sink in, and then do with them what you will. Thank you in advance for your time. What will it take for you to engage, to commit, to stand up and serve a cause greater than yourself? Where is your line in the sand? How far will you allow yourself to be pushed? How much government overreach and abuse of power will you take? How many laws and regulations and fees will be passed before you engage in your civic duty and get involved? How much is your freedom worth? What about the freedom of your children and your children's children? How much are you willing to stake their future on by doing nothing? Because in case you did not know, freedom is not free. It's going to put up a fight, and if you fail to answer, it will pass you by. Freedom requires sacrifice. Freedom requires honor and courage and brave men and women to act in order to preserve our God-given rights. You are either going to be part of the problem or part of the solution, but sitting back and doing nothing is tantamount to your compliance to the destruction of our republic. And I, for one, will not stand by and watch that happen. So I'm going to ask you again, what will it take for you to engage? The general apathy that has overtaken the American voter is something we should all be concerned about. We the people have allowed ourselves to be lulled into a constant state of dissent for our elected officials, yet we lack the tenacity and resolve to engage and act upon our civic duty as American citizens. We continue to look to the very people who have failed us as if they will magically solve the problems they have created. We have allowed for their acquiescence and platitudes while demanding nothing of their conscience or requiring them to stand on the principles in which they espouse. We have failed to hold them accountable, and that in turn is a prerequisite for why they have failed us. You cannot allow politicians to operate with impunity and expect them to have honor. Honor is a choice, and courage is the action of acting upon that choice. As long as there are no consequences for their actions or the lack of, as long as there are no consequences for their actions, those actions or the lack thereof will continue with consequences for us all. We have forgotten that this is a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people. We have forgotten that this is our nation to govern, not a select few individuals who wish to play masters of the universe. They answer to us, and quite frankly, we are doing a horrible job of managing our employees. Yes, you heard me say that. They are our employees, and we possess the power to fire them when they fail us, as well as the power to promote them when they succeed. Now, what should be more concerning is the lack of enthusiasm and civic involvement amongst conservatives and Republicans. We may trumpet out our principles and stand firmly on that which we believe, but our passion and ability to mobilize is sorely lacking. Our Democrat brothers and sisters are out there kicking our butts at the ground game, so we better figure out a way to get our act together fast. It's time we take some of that principle we speak so boldly about and turn it into passion. It's time we realize that Facebook and Twitter are small tools of our trade, and now is the time to take our message to the masses out there in the streets. Door to door, one voter at a time, no stone left unturned. Imagine the impact of hundreds of volunteers turning out for precinct walks or phone banking events all over the country. Picture 2,000 people in every district rocking the phones to get out the vote on election day. That, my friends, is powerful, and it's not impossible. Everyone has time to get involved. Everyone. You just have to have the courage to act upon your beliefs. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or a PhD. You don't have to be rich or belong to a secret society. You can be short or tall, blonde or brunette, man or woman, young or old. Your skin color and race do not matter. You just have to be brave enough to come out of the shadows and step forward into the light. You have to be brave enough to step into a strange environment with people you don't know and work together for a common cause. It's not easy, but I assure you, you are not alone. Today you are one. Tonight we will be two. Tomorrow there will be 50 of us. In a month there will be tens of thousands. Imagine 10 million invigorated and motivated Republicans and conservatives stepping up all over the country, getting involved in campaigns and initiatives so we can bring our common sense principles forward to the people come November. Realize the impact of turning a city council or a school board from blue to red. Understand the results of unification for our candidates that we can trust, who share our values and principles. Imagine the elation we are all going to feel when we take the Senate back come November. This will not happen on its own. This will not happen by chance. It will only happen with hard work and dedication. And that dedication and hard work will not come to fruition if carried out by just a few. Now, I know there are some naysayers out there who think that they don't matter. They think that their vote doesn't count, that their time won't make a difference. This is absolute nonsense. Every vote matters, and all time given is time well spent. If everyone whose vote didn't matter actually voted, we would be able to turn entire elections around. If all the registered Republicans in this country made it to the polls and voted in 2012, we would not have Barack Obama as President of the United States of America. Let me say that again. Barack Obama would not be president if the "my vote doesn't count" crowd cut out all the BS and went out and made their vote count. Every vote matters. Every vote has impact. It reminds us that we have the ability to control our destiny and that our republic requires sacrifice and dedication. The Constitution cannot defend itself. As much as it protects our inalienable rights, we the people are charged with exercising those very rights to protect ourselves. The strength of the Constitution is not the words on paper, but our resolve to engage and protect and enforce those words. The only time your vote doesn't count is when you fail to make it count. By failing to vote, you are not only failing your country, you are failing yourself. Why can't we get 70 or 80% voter turnout in an election? It's one day every 2 years. There's plenty of time to prepare, and it's well advertised. It's not like you can say you didn't know. How bad would Christmas or Thanksgiving be if we took the same lackluster approach? While the birth of our Lord and a day of being thankful for all that we have is very important to most of us, elections have far more impact on our lives than any holiday we celebrate. Hell, to be honest, there should be 100% turnout. It's that important. Every election affects every aspect of your life and your children's lives, as well as the future of our republic. You need to understand the true cost of your negligence. It's happening right now, every day, in every city in America. It will not come with a giant bang at your door. Our demise will continue to be slow and methodical. Your money, your children's education, your health care, overregulation, inflation, it is happening right now, and it's out there for all the world to see. Your door has already been kicked in. You just don't see it. I assure you the cost of our future will be too much to bear if we continue to ignore the problems we are faced with and we fail to engage. Now, for those of you who don't have time, you need to figure out what kind of America you want to live in, because an America that suffers those with no time leaves us with a constituency that gets exactly what they deserve: nothing. We seem to find time for the NBA and NFL and housewives and the Kardashians. We seem to have time for all-day tailgate parties that won't lower our taxes, or American Idol finals that won't do anything for our kids' school district. We seem to have time to pick the wrong bachelor or bachelorette, or which crappy dancer shouldn't go home this week, but not enough time to help someone get into office that's going to have an immediate impact on your life and your future. Is that your resolve? Is that the legacy we want to leave to our future generations? What price are we willing to put on our children's future because our lack of resolve and refusal to engage will most assuredly seal their fate before they get a chance to join the fight? Who amongst you wants to look at their children in the eyes and tell them you failed them? Who wants to look at their child and say, "I'm sorry, kiddo, I just didn't care enough to stand up for you. I didn't care enough to protect your future"? I most assuredly do not. And I will not have to, because I have willingly and actively chosen to engage. I am not saying you have to give up your sports or your TV or anything for that matter. What I am saying is that we need to, as a nation, as a people, as a movement, and as individual citizens, prioritize our lives and protect the things which matter most. One of the tenets of our conservative values is never to ask a person to do that which we would not do ourselves. Under that simple premise, there should be a whole lot more people engaged in this battle. And make no mistake about it, we are in a battle. This is a battle for our freedom, a battle for our liberty, for our morals, for our values, for our faith. Battles cannot be won with hashtags and keystrokes. Battles cannot be won with 140 characters or less, or water cooler commandos setting the masses straight on their break. We need boots on the ground at every level of every election, And unless we get more citizens to stand up and be counted at the polls, and more citizens to engage in the election process, then the republic as we know it will cease to exist, and we will be left with whatever it is you think you can tolerate as you watch from the sidelines. I, for one, cannot and will not sit idly by and wait for whatever this vision of America will be. My children are too important to me, and your children and the future of this nation should be that important to you. So I will ask you again, what will it take for you to engage? I am engaged because my conscience demands it. I am engaged because I care for my family's future. I am engaged because I want my children's future to be better than the one that I have. I am engaged because I am still free to do so. I am engaged because I found the courage to stand up and the honor and principles. I am engaged because I found the courage to stand up and honor the principles that make this country great. I am engaged because my heart beats the American spirit, and I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I am engaged. Now, my friend, is the time to rise. Do not aspire to be average. Do not seek mediocrity. Do not seek excuses, but look for resolutions. Aspire for greatness. Be exceptional at everything you do. Be an exceptional mother or father, son or daughter. Be an exceptional employee or employer. Be exceptional to your friends and neighbors. Be exceptionally humble and gracious. Be exceptionally charitable and helpful. Be exceptionally resilient and resourceful. Be exceptionally kind and thoughtful. Be exceptionally American. My name is Tony Lacey, and I am engaged, and I hope to see you on the battlefield. I pray that these words find you in good health and spirit. Thank you for your time. God bless you. God bless America.